Hi, I'm Wesley. I'm an EWU junior. My major is Business and Public Administration, and in this picture you'll see me holding a halibut fish I caught in Alaska. I chose this article because it drew me in by Team Meat disappointing many customers and pushing the release date of Super Meat Boy back, in order to make sure they didn't overwork their employees. The decision administration teams is in charge of making, something that applies directly to the major business administration. So after reading this article, I found out many other games had similar issues but chose different outcomes. So a question formulated in my mind. With people being raised and taught deadlines, from school to the workplace, tight deadlines in the end negatively affect employees' mental health. Deadline: the latest time or date by which something should be completed. Mental health: a person's condition with regard to their physical and emotional well-being. Deadlines are taught from a young age and are drilled into society as a way of holding people accountable. The process is perceived by students of varied abilities and ages as authentic and valid, and therefore meaningful. How do deadlines negatively affect society if it is what is instilled into people of all backgrounds? It is part of human nature. With deadlines infiltrated into every part of society, how does an administration team effectively? First, be aware of the many things you have to do in order to know where your deadline comes in. Pick a rally. As part of an administration team, you have to have appropriate representation of all business processes in order to better set appropriate deadlines. Be knowledgeable of all the details that you need attending to before initiating a proposed deadline. Pick a rally. It is important to know all the process going into a certain deadline before you make a good one. It is important to know how to effectively decide a deadline in order to see a thriving business. Not everyone takes everything into consideration and cause high turnover rates. That's why it is important to be conscious for administration teams. Several administration teams like to rush things to better please the customer. Usually this isn't a good thing. We have to opt in into a certain number of overtime weekday shifts per week, depending on the current rules, as well as a certain number of weekend shifts per month. During our standard crunch hours, we work 3 to 5 business overtime shifts and 2 weekend overtime shifts per month, but during our true crunch hours, we work 5 weekday overtime shifts and at least 4 weekend overtime shifts per month. We've been in crunch since October 9th, 2017, which is before I started working here. Morano. Rockstar Games did the opposite of Team Meat and overworked their employees and greatly endangered their mental health. They compromised some of the most important post-crisis regulation of financial markets. Oxford. Even federal regulation creates unrealistic expectations on employees, overworking them if they don't comply. The company or even the nation may be in great danger. Many administration teams don't take everything into account, creating a bad planning and endangering the company/employees. With many businesses failing to provide appropriate deadline, it causes negative effect for businesses and leads to failure. It is important to keep deadlines relevant and appropriate, or the business may run away from you. If expectations of employees are too high, this could lead to them taking off work for stress-related illnesses. This only increases the pressure, as the rest of your team will need to meet the set targets with one less pair of hands. How? High standards and stressful deadlines will raise turnover rates. It is easy to get carried away with the unrealistic deadlines. It is important to notice and recognize when employees aren't working well and are overstressed. With the company at stake, employees should always come first. The end. It is important to know how to properly set deadlines, see mistakes and fix them, and know the negative consequences of bad deadlines. Administration teams need to know their business and to make sure deadlines are appropriate to ensure good deadlines and employees' mental health. It is important to know the balance and not affect your employees like Rockstar Games did. Remember, time is one of your most prized possessions. Pecorelli. Thank you for listening, and I hope this provided some good details.